Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's your boy JT. I just got back from the movies from watching Onward, and honestly, this movie it's a good movie. It doesn't cut too deep, but it does cut a little deep. Maybe it's a little shallow. No, not shallow. Nah, but this is a pretty good movie, man. This hits all audiences. I would recommend it to anyone, even my mom. My mom's like twice my age, so I would recommend it to anyone. This is it's a well thought out movie, honestly. So the beginning of the movie, it's Ian's birthday. He's turning 16. His mom wants him to do driver's ed, and he's really just not confident about driving at all. And it shows that like a couple minutes later of him on the road, doing like his driver's ed test. He tries to get onto the freeway, and it's just completely awful. So he ends up also trying to speak up more. He has a list. He's got a list that he made, and he wants to, fulfill these things for his 16th birthday. So from there, he ends up just not doing anything proper on that list, and he goes home, and he's just super disappointed after he got embarrassed by his older brother, the one that's his name is Barley. He ends up just embarrassing him at school by pulling up in a van, and he's like dressed up as a wizard and whatnot. And Ian is just not too fond of that. He ends up embarrassing him in front of these people that he invited to his party. So they end up going back home, and Ian is just upset. So he just goes back home, and he's playing a tape labeled "Dad," and the tape seems to be responding to what Ian is saying. But it's like a well thought out tape though, because it's he made that tape specifically to communicate like partially whenever his sons are having a bad day. And then after that, his mom ends up presenting like right then and there the wizard staff, for him to go ahead and have his dad appear. And as everyone knows, only his pants appear, basically just his bottom half of his body. They have 24 hours to fix the spell. And honestly, at that point, I thought they were gonna just do it in 24 hours, and it wasn't gonna just last for a day or whatnot. I thought they were gonna be able to have him there forever. Just come back to life as a normal elf. They weren't humans; they were elves. But no, that's not what they did. That's not what they did. The movie was really well. That was a really good movie. So I just keep saying that. But what they ended up doing was they had to they had to find this gem called the Phoenix Gem to go ahead and try to spawn the rest of their dad. But they have to go through literally a quest to do this thing. But Ian didn't see it as a quest. Only Barley. Barley is the older brother, the one that embarrassed him as a wizard at his school. Barley was the one that was saying like, "Oh, we're going on a quest. Like, we got to take this route because it's what's like related to his game that he plays." And that game, I actually have the name of it right here, is the Quest of Yore. That was the board game that he plays, and that's what he basically related the whole trip to, was that game. And it actually was true. Everything on that game that he was playing was valid. From the Manicor's Tavern to the Phoenix Gem, the Phoenix Gem itself. Everything was valid, everything added up. But Ian, of course, Ian being like I guess like a somewhat normal kind of kid, he didn't see it that way. So that just really didn't, their vibes didn't end up meeting all the way. And they end up doing a couple of spells here and there, and there's a spell that you have to tell nothing but the truth in order for the spell to continue working. And they at this time they get pulled over by the police, and it's just the situation gets really hectic. But he ends up older brother. What is his name? I just forgot his name. Barley. He ends up convincing Ian like, "Hey, like we got to do this spell if we got to get out of the situation." So Ian is like, "Okay, let's go ahead and do it." So they do the spell, but Barley was absolute, like straight up, like, you got to tell the truth. You cannot lie, otherwise, the disguise is going to start to just, fade away. And sure enough, it did. He told a couple of lies, and his ear popped up and his leg popped up, his hand as well. But the problem was that one of the police officers, because, I kind of skipped the detail here. So their mom's boyfriend was a police officer, and that's how the whole police thing got involved. They disguised themselves as that police officer, as their mom's boyfriend. So they end up doing that, but they say something that Barley is a screw up, and Ian agreed. Truthfully, he truthfully agreed, but he lied. So he lied, saying that he did not agree, but the disguise actually ended up, disappearing on his leg. So he's kind of feeling bad about that. And then they continue their journey trying to get to this gem. And basically, because right there is super close to the end of the movie. They end up just making up. And what's honestly portrayed is that at the end of the movie, Ian realizes that he didn't need his dad to begin with, because everything that he learned and everything that he was just like brought up to do, he was brought up by it from Barley, his older brother. And you know what? He doesn't meet his dad at the end of the movie. That's crazy. But anyways, just thanks for watching, guys. Have a good day.